else need some hot cocoa. I don't know how cold it is right now for you out there, but veterans and their guardians in Marion, they're getting ready for their 9th honor flight of Southern Illinois, and that's where we find News 3's Dave Davis, kind of, I guess, bidding farewell to our veterans.
Yes, we are. And you know, Evie, you mentioned veterans and their guardians. We have a special veteran and guardian here. We have a father and a daughter. His daughter is along with him as his guardian. We have Luther Johnson. Right now, Evie, I think I've heard it all. I feel like I've always heard it all, but every year I learn some new stories. Mr. Johnson, thanks so much for joining us. I'm going to shake your hand here. I'm a handshaker. You have probably one of the most incredible enlistment stories I've ever heard in my life. Tell everyone about that.
I joined the service at 15 in 1947 and September the 10th and joined the Army and went to Japan and Korea and then I was getting ready to get discharged in 1950 when the Korean War broke out, and the first sergeant come by and I turned my field gear already in and I said, I'm going home. He said, no, you're going to Sasebo, Japan to set up advanced party. Said, the Truman says you're going to stay a while longer.
Wow.
So I was drafted for the Truman year at that time and wound up staying on a 3-year enlistment, 4 years. And then I joined the Air Force in 51 after I got discharged from the Army and wound up staying 28 years in the service. Made a career out of it. It's been real good to me and my family, and I've been blessed with 2 kids and grandkids and everything. And
well, I'll tell you what, Mr. Johnson, it has been fantastic. Just real quick here, we are actually out of time, but I've got to ask you this. Tell us, how did you enlist at 15 years old?
Well, I had a friend that could make up birth certificates, and I got a fake birth certificate. And we went in on that, and the recruiter was hurting for people to get in, I guess, and so he took us in.
Mr. Johnson, you are my hero. I hope you have a fantastic trip. Brian, we ran out of time. I was going to talk to you about this. We appreciate it.
Man.
Oh, absolutely. Mission number 9. We're going to keep you updated on this. Mr. Johnson, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And Evie, this is just the tip of the iceberg. And speaking of iceberg, Nick, it is chilly out here.